Hello everyone, it's Sabrina from the Gombe family, and today we are going to do part 3 of our essentials for living/traveling in Africa. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first item that I want to mention is menstrual items that you will need for your menstrual cycle. So I have two different options here. This is the menstrual cup that you can use as like a replacement for a tampon, and then these are the menstrual pads, so you could use these as a replacement for the disposable pads. I just have them in here to keep them sanitary, and there's 4 in there. So decide which type of menstrual item that you want for your menstrual cycle, because they might not have what you're used to in the country that you go to. So you might have trouble finding tampons or finding the tampons that you prefer, and the pads are not even that great of quality that they sell at the store, so you might want to come with your own. But coming with disposable ones is very tedious, especially when you plan to be in Africa and different countries for an extended period of time. So you definitely want to think about that. So the next item that you should bring is dependent, I guess, on your situation and your hair preference, but a hair trimmer. This is definitely an essential for us. Granted, the price of a haircut is very, very cheap here, like 30 shillings. So you could get a haircut if you don't want to have to bring a trimmer, but it just depends on if you have a certain preference of hairstyles and things like that. So if you do have short hair like I do, or your spouse has a short haircut, then you might want to think about learning how to do your hair or your spouse's hair the way that you want, so that you don't have to worry about going to a barber and them not doing it the way that you want. So we got this USB rechargeable trimmer, and it is awesome. We have saved so much money not having to go to barbers. Not only you have to pay the barber, but also you have to pay to get there if it's far away from your house, depending on where you stay, and you have to find it first. So you have to talk to people and find where a barber is, which is not so difficult, but it's just more convenient if you can do it at your house, depending on the hairstyle that you're looking for. Okay, so the next item is a electric toothbrush, and this is something that I highly suggest. This is the Quip toothbrush. Everybody in our family has one, and it's something that I highly suggest because you don't want to have to go to the dentist if you don't have to. I'm pretty sure that that's something that people agree with no matter where you are in the world, whether it's America, Kenya, I don't know, any country. You don't want to have to go to the dentist if you don't need to. So if you can maintain your dental hygiene while you are traveling with an electric toothbrush, then that is very beneficial for you. But you don't need to bring toothpaste, because they have all of the brands that you are used to in America. I mean, let me rephrase that. Not all of the brands, but they have most of the significant brands, like the 3D White, they have Colgate, they have all of those type of things here. So don't worry about having to bring like a year's stock of toothpaste, because you don't need to do that. Okay, so the next item is having something to stash your important items. So whether that's a stash of cash, extra credit card, extra ID or something of that nature, emergency card, which I have done a video on our emergency cards, but I will do another one in the future to explain why we have them and what we put on them. But all of these things need a place to be stashed that is not something that people are going to readily notice. So the two that I chose to show you here is the arm bracelet thing, and actually this one stretches enough to where you can put it on your ankle as well, which I think is an awesome idea, because if it's on your arm, especially if you're wearing a tight long sleeve or a short sleeve, then it's pretty noticeable. But if you put it on your ankle, even under leggings, it's pretty not noticeable. So that's an awesome idea, and it has just like a open pocket like that, and then it has a zipper pocket on the other side. Also, we have our bra pouches, which is what we typically use on travel days. And so this we just put on the back of our sports bra, and we put, just as I said, credit card, extra cash, different things like that. Maybe I might even put some first aid items in there, like the one-use chapsticks and sunscreens and different things like that. You would be surprised at how much could fit in these little bra pouches, and it will definitely come in handy. If somebody is going to rob you, they are going to rob you in a way that is convenient, right? So they will take your suitcase, they will take your backpack, maybe even your purse, right? But they're not going to like strip search you to make sure that they've gotten everything, right? So if you have your bra pouch on, then you still have a backup of money, of ID, of all of those things. Okay, so the next item here is my fanny pack as a whole. So you want to make sure that you have something that is easily accessible. So something that you can put in front of you if you feel like it's not a safe area, something that you could put behind you if it's more convenient at the time, and this is perfect. So I originally came here with a fanny pack, and that was awesome, but I don't know, I didn't like the aesthetic of it so much, and then I found this one at Miniso, and it's more like a sling. So it has like a one strap here, and it is perfect. I put it in front of me when we are in a car or a bus. I put it behind me when we're just walking and it's not so crowded. I can put it in front of me quickly if I feel like it's getting too crowded and somebody could rob me. So I feel like this is the perfect purse-ish item to keep with you when you are in an African country, because when you're in a crowded area, there is the risk of being robbed, and you want to make sure that you keep your possessions in eyesight at all times. So this is the perfect way to do so. Also, I put like in the first video that I made of our essentials, I put the grocery bags, the collapsible grocery bags, and I just hang those on a carabiner on my fanny pack. So if we ever go grocery shopping or randomly buy something that we didn't plan on buying, I could put it in one of those and just put it on my shoulder. So definitely a good item to have. Okay, so the next item I want to talk about is the tea bags, reusable tea bags that I brought from America. I got them on Amazon. Obviously, you can see this one is very used. It has been stained by the tea that we often drink, and then this one is less used because it is like a larger one, so to make larger batches of tea or things like that. I also used this one to make different milks, like cashew milks and stuff like that. I recently got some actual milk bags, so now we use those, but these are just super multi-purpose. We have used them every day. If we now use caffeine-free tea bags, which like they come in tea bags instead of loose leaf tea, so we don't use them so much anymore, but they are still an essential item, especially if you drink tea that has caffeine in it. It's usually sold here as loose leaf tea, so they use like a strainer when they pour the tea so that you don't get chunks in your tea. But to have something like this where you could put the tea in here, put it in the hot water, and make your tea so easy, you don't have to worry about straining it afterward. It is just a life changer and so easy to quickly make your tea and go on with your day. So those are definitely an essential item. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is particular clothing items. So these are items that you are even picky about in your own country, right? So if you try on a bunch of different, I don't know, shirts, let's say, and you're like, that style's not right, oh, that doesn't fit me so well, then make sure that you have enough with you for the duration of your stay. So the example that I have here is a bathing suit. So I am very particular on the type of bathing suit that I have, how it fits me, how it wears, all of that, how like much it holds everything in. So I made sure that I bought myself a bathing suit before I came to Kenya so that I wouldn't have to worry about finding myself a bathing suit when I came to Kenya, because a lot of times people will buy bathing suits at like the markets and things like that, so you don't really have a chance to try it on. So you kind of have to be like, oh well, I hope this will fit, right? And you don't want to just waste your money on something that doesn't fit. So I made sure that I brought myself one bathing suit. I know many people that go to countries where there is a beach bring a lot more than one bathing suit, but that's all we need. We just hang it up to dry and wear it the next day if we're going to the beach again. So that's definitely something that I am particular on. other items I'm particular on are underwear and bras. Specifically, I only wear sports bras, and I'm very particular on how they fit me. So that is something that I would definitely bring with me and not try to hassle with finding something that's comfortable for me in the country that I'm going to. Okay, so the next item I want to talk about is a USB flash drive, or more specifically, more than just one. So unfortunately, I lost one of these because I had it connected to one of my bracelets, and I lost my bracelet in the ocean. So that one was gone, but I still have two. I have this one, and then I have another one that's like half this size, so small. So you can put them in your bra pouch, you can put them on one of your pieces of jewelry. They're very small that you could just take them and put them wherever you need to, so that you know where they are, but other people don't know where they are. And this is something that you will put all of your important documents on. So copies of your passport, your global entry card, your ID, your credit cards, copies of your credit cards, all of those type of things you will keep on your important documents USB, so that if somebody steals everything you own, which will include your important documents folder, then you have backups on your multiple USB drives. So you want to keep one maybe in your kids' things or your spouse's things, as well as your things, so that you have backup on backup on backup. In case you lose these things, you can go to a cyber cafe, print them out real quick, and then go to your respective embassy and say, somebody stole everything that I own, but here is copies of everything. Can you help me get a new passport or a new whatever the case may be? So that is something very, very important, that you need to be organized with your important documents when you are traveling to a different country, because I have seen so many people not have important documents at all, or just be very unorganized with their important documents folder, and that is not going to help you in situations where you're trying to get visas, you're trying to get in and out of countries. It can be extremely difficult. So you want to make sure that you're very organized with that stuff, so these agents see that you're organized. Oh, she has everything in that. Oh, she knows where everything is. Okay, she has her shit together. Like, we don't need to mess with her. So that is something very important that you want to keep in mind. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to mention here is, first of all, if you are particular about something, for example, particular about a certain shampoo, or particular about a certain toothpaste or lotion or whatever the case may be, my recommendation, which I could be completely off here, but my recommendation would be forget about it. A lot of people like have a checked bag that's like full of shampoo or full of their hair care products or whatever the case may be. There are people of all different types where you are going, you know, like many of my Black friends, they have particular washes that they have for their hair, particular conditioners and all of this stuff, which I completely understand. We have very different styles of hair, but where you are going, there are people, poor and rich, who are taking care of the same texture of hair as you with products that they get from their country. So don't worry so much about that. Will your hair have to get used to something new? Yes, it will. But will it manage eventually? Yes, it will. And you will have so much less stress having to deal with this checked bag and going from this country to that country, or this Airbnb to that Airbnb, with a huge, heavy checked luggage bag because it has a year's supply of shampoo in it. So that is something that you definitely want to think about, and maybe train your hair or whatever it is, train your skin to adapt to something that you know is in almost every country. I did this with coconut oil. So me and Safari started using coconut oil as a moisturizer, coconut oil as a face moisturizer, you know, like putting coconut oil in her hair, because I knew that it was something that I could get in pretty much every country. You know, you could also do that with shea butter. We have shea butter here in Kenya, and we bought it here and use it for our skin, use it for our hair. So you can definitely get natural products like that in every country that you go to. So think about switching over to those type of products if you are going to be traveling Africa for a long-term basis. So the last thing that I want to talk about is something that I actually don't have, but it is something that I definitely will have soon, because when you are traveling often, and you are traveling like the locals, remember I said in the last 2 videos, this is not a video for you if you are going to travel in fancy hotels that have all the amenities, where you can go to restaurants, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is not the video for you. This is a video for you if you are planning to live like the locals in a $25 a month apartment and figure out breakfast, lunch, and dinner on your own. So think about that when you are watching this video. But the next item that I want to mention is getting a alcohol stove. So this is something very important that I want to get, because the stoves that we use here are gas stoves. So it is a huge cylinder. You guys have seen in a couple of my other videos, I've showed on the tour, and also the video where we made Kenyan fried potatoes. You can see our stove, and it is huge. You can't just pack that, right? Even if you're going in the same country, you can't just pack that. So you want something that you can use as an alternative, which would be a alcohol stove. So if you get an alcohol stove on Amazon, there are ones where you use pellets, alcohol pellets, and you can buy those. Coleman has some for pretty cheap. You could get a pack of 24 for $5. And you light the pellets on fire with like a match, and it allows you to boil water or do whatever you need to do in order to cook your food, right? So are you going to use this to make beans that takes like 3 hours to cook? No, you're not going to use this for something like that. But when you get to a new apartment, you need to cook your food for that night or for that day or whatever the case may be until you go out and get a gas stove, depending on how long you're going to be there. If you're only going to be there a week, then why go out and get a gas stove and the burner part and all of that stuff when you're only going to be there a week, right? So you have to think about those things as well. So you can make spaghetti with the alcohol stove. You can make a lot of different things with the alcohol stove that don't take too long to cook. So that's something that you definitely want to have for these intermittent times when you're traveling and first getting to a destination. So I will go ahead and put that on the screen so you can see what exactly I'm talking about and how you can get that on Amazon. But that is something important that I want to add to my collection of essentials very soon. So those are the part 3 items of essentials when living and traveling in Africa. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please tell me in the comments what you would bring to Africa, what you wouldn't bring to Africa, what you think is essentials to you that other people might not think as essentials. I would love to hear it. So please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!